Hola, familia.
Hi, this is James Noble.
This is Salom.
Yo, this is David Mashamela. You're on
Happy Days.
Happy Days?
Happy days.
Happy Days podcast.
It's a happy day to have a good day.
Loving you so true, my boo. I always stuck up for you through the good, but completely blinded by love. I thought things are gonna change in your stupid game. Am I the one to blame? Oh no.
Oh wow, what a better way to actually start Happy Days on a podcast. That's today. We have, it's called up the album. It's called Gender, what is it? Love and Gender?
Love has no gender.
Love has
So,
no
yes,
gender.
yeah.
Yes. It's Thapelo is here with me, and it's a sensational. I call him RnB, an incredible voice there, because when I was watching that video, I must tell you, I was mesmerized.
Serious?
Thank you so much for bringing that kind of a particular sound. So normally we start by actually just checking on what was happening throughout the week, and obviously the high thing for this week is cold front. It is actually back as it is now,
Exactly.
because I thought it would be just 2 days of
the
cold front, but
yeah.
now it's just decided to come back.
Yeah.
What a week, man. You know.
It was hectic. You know, I read, I think somewhere on the internet, that we stuck with this cold until sometime in August.
Oh man.
You know, I mean, we even had snow in Joburg.
Yeah. I saw a bit of snow in Joburg.
Exactly.
When last did you see that?
It was my first time actually, to tell the truth. I'm from KZN, we don't get this cold.
No, I heard, but around the 80s, it actually we had some few of those.
In KZN.
Yeah, in KZN. Not in Joburg.
No, Joburg.
No, not in Joburg. So Mina is not good for my plants. I'm a person who loves my
loves
plants.
planting,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I'm thinking frost. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like devastated with the frost and so forth.
Yeah.
But apart from the cold front, I know that also Freddie Jackson is coming to South Africa, which I am not very much excited. These international acts, you know, when they all down and out, they decide to come in South Africa. No, man, I'm not really much excited. I don't even think that song "You Are My Lady," he's going to sing it the way
he did back
then. By then,
Exactly,
you know, he's too
exactly.
old. He must just chill there. But people loved Freddie Jackson. I'm sure they will kill me for this one. But I don't really, not necessarily. You remember the likes of Tevin Campbell coming to South Africa.
Yes.
Now that he's down and out, you know, it's been, I had some stories about him and drugs.
Yeah.
And then you start to clean your life, and then you think, let me go to South Africa, they love me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I think, I've been noticing that as well. Like, there's sort of a trend. We had Tamia not so long ago.
Yeah.
Boys to Men is coming,
Boys
I
to
think,
Men.
in October.
Yeah, I think it's okay when you come at your peak.
Yes,
during
yes.
a time where we really want you. But they go to Japan, they go to China, Germany, and they don't think
not
about South
Africa.
Africa. In fact,
True.
not the African continent. They go to Europe. But yeah, no, that's not nice. That's not nice. But just to wrap it up on what was happening in South Africa, I know that Dino Ranaka was also been fired, like Higher FM. That's a very sad one.
I saw that.
I didn't see that coming.
I mean, like, because I think shortly before that she went to, like, on a rent with regards to her mental health and stuff.
I know that she was, if I'm not making a mistake here, she was diagnosed with a severe chronic depression.
Yeah.
That is very serious. And I heard that she was somewhere in US. Maybe for medical
purposes, yeah.
But won't know. But KFM says we are, parting ways amicably so. But Dino says, no, that's not the case.
I saw that.
That's not the case. But talking about that particular slot, because I used to a bit listen to, I have my own favorite radio station, not necessarily Kai, but you just pick that particular slot because of someone. So I was listening, I used to listen to that slot because of Soul Penduka. because I enjoy soul that much. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, now that Dineo is no longer with Kaya, Soul Penduga will do that slot alone. But there, I take nothing away from Sizwe.
Yeah,
let's say.
no, I get you.
But I, if I was a program manager, I was going to just say, Soul, take that slot,
On it by his own. I mean,
On by his own.
Saul is he talks like he's entertaining to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
But even when we watch the show he does with Big G, I mean, you just go there because he's just a guy that can talk, and it's quite interesting to listen to. So I also am team Saul.
I must say right
Yeah.
now, I'm disappointed on Kaya FM, Yeah, they should put Soul alone there, and then Sizwe where he was, doing that slot. But back to you now, talking about your R&B music.
Yes.
I know that this is your first one, your first album, the collaboration with Gino Lee.
Yes.
I know that he's a producer, but how did you guys meet?
So me and Gino Lee are signed to the same agency.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've heard of 33andMe. It's owned by LCB Lawrence. It's actually in somewhere in Ilovo.
Okay.
So we signed with the same agency. Gino has been with the agency for I think over 10 years now, and I recently joined I think about 2-3 years back. And we both alumni of the International Arts Talent Showcase.
Okay.
And one of the boot camps to prepare for International Models and Talent Association, we actually I've been following him for a while, but then we actually got to talking because I was also my music coach during that boot camp.
Okay.
And then we kind of vibed, and we're like, you know what? Let's try put something together and all of that. It initially started as him just being my producer.
Okay.
And then he kind of, when producers are doing those demo records just to sort of help guide you on how the song should go and all of that, we actually found out that our songs work kind of well together, And when we had done recording it and his mom was listening to it, was like, this should be a collab.
Oh, yes.
So that's how the collab actually came about.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but he's been someone I've been following for quite some time and have been looking to work with him for quite the longest time. Yeah.
Yeah, but you, the love of music, where that is all started.
I mean, Sastul Kaya from a young age. So I'd say since I was a toddler, because I cannot really put an age to it.
Now to lesson doing.
So that was the story with me as well. I grew up in a musical family. All of us could hold a note. So ubaba wayethanda ukushumela kakhulu. So every time akashumela bekafuna ukuthi nkosikazi wakhe nabantwana bacule. Yes, So that's where my background comes from, and it's mostly a cappella based because of the church that I come from. And then I've been singing ever since esikoleni. And then I did more of the R&B when I got to varsity. Okay. And that's when I started exploring with R&B, because I was mostly gospel because I was singing. And then I was like, I actually like the vibe, my voice kind of goes well with the genre, and it's a genre I'm quite a fan of,
Yes.
So I mean, once I found out Tuguti, it's something that I'm actually interested in and that I actually love. And then it's been me just trying for years and years, trying to sort of, get something recorded, get it released and all of that. So yeah.
Okay. So I you know what really fascinated me with your story and specifically your album is the reason why you actually released that album, because a whole lot of musicians, they'll just release a song because you have to, be seen out there, releasing something.
Yeah.
But yours, there's got some, some attachment.
True.
In a way, maybe just to put it, because I know that you're also part of the community, the LGBTQI community. Yeah. So just tell us, maybe just briefly, Love Has No Gender. How did you, because I know that it's the story of love.
Yes.
We all get hurt sometimes.
Oh, yes.
So yours, maybe you can just elaborate what happened.
So when I wrote the song with Gino Lee. When I wrote the song, I was kind of in this
toxic relationship where you're with someone and you basically just giving all of yourself to that person, but they're not really doing anything for you, giving anything to you, So one thing that people usually say to me is that do never pour from an empty cup, But then I was so convinced that this person is the one, my soulmate.
Yeah, they say love can blind you.
Exactly.
We all become blinded sometimes.
Definitely, So that was the case with me as well back then. But basically, when I created the project, it was because if you listen to the lyrics, it doesn't specify whether I'm talking about a he or a she, or it's just a generic
it's
story.
It's just the story that will imply to everyone.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. But when I went the direction of a music video now, I wanted to kind of portray to the world out there that in as much as the LGBTQIA community is kind of seen in a different light. I mean, we're not the most accepted community in, I'll say, the world even, But it was just that small contribution I wanted to put into actually educating people that in as much as people might see us as this alien species that's not supposed to exist, but we're actually still human, We do experience love, we do experience hurt, we do experience challenges in relationships, and we also do aspire to be in sustainable relationships,
just like anyone.
Exactly. Yeah. So which is why when I did the video, I decided to stick to who I was, but the lyrics they don't necessarily I would say specify that I'm talking about a he, but it's a lyric that Untabi saying wherever she's listening to can relate to it. Utemba can relate to and all of that, So that was basically just my contribution to people saying, you know what, accept the community, because all they're doing is just being truly themselves, They experience the same emotions that everyone else experiences, So there's not really much difference between the two communities except the fact that I love a person of the same gender as myself, So that was the whole idea behind the concept of putting the song and the video together.
Yeah, but just apart from the world, but what do you think of South Africa nowadays when looking at the treatment or how they perceive a person who's homosexual?
I mean, we've come a long way. I'll acknowledge that. I mean, it's not as it was before. However, it's still bad.
There's a lot.
Yes, we hear about cases where people of the community have been. We hear of cases of correctional rapes. We hear cases of murder, even. Assault. I think a couple of weeks ago I heard that there's someone in Limpopo who actually was murdered, but then they staged the scene like he hanged himself, and they say it was mainly because he is part of the community, So they still, in as much as it is, I'd say, accepted politically now, but there's still a long way to go when it comes to the education and also just people being accepting, because one thing I don't necessarily understand, I think maybe someone will clue me up on this at some point in life, is that what are they doing wrong?
Yeah, that's a big question. Yeah.
Yes, they're not really hurting anyone.
Because you can talk about the legislation, but the legislation is not necessarily individual.
True.
Because you can pass on the laws, but how do we take them, or people out there take those laws and actually use them, utilize them in a right way?
Exactly.
It's something else, because you still find people who are getting married, same-sex marriage. It sounds bizarre.
It's a shock,
in a location. How we are shot and exactly. So that's a situation that needs to be dealt with, and maybe you are right. We need to deal it educationally. So but looking back, when you grow up in your community, your family, how was it like to actually, for them to realize that how
I mean, coming from a very cultural Zulu family, and exactly. So I wasn't your, I would say, normal guy. Because in most cases, especially when it comes to our black culture. As a male, you're expected to udlala ibhola, and all of that. I was more of a nerd, and and for me it was like, but I don't have that feeling to date females. Obviously I dated them back then
because it's not a fashion.
It's not. It's something that you're born with. Exactly. So growing up, it was quite of a challenge because of those expectations, and all of that, you know. But I mean, when we're growing up, we don't have a lot of control over our lives. So we try to sort of fashion our lives to what our parents or our guardians would want from us, you know. But I mean, it wasn't easy. But then I had to do it because, you know, but when I decided to come out in 2017, it was also like a bit of a shock, especially for my mom. You know, my father passed on in 2014, so I didn't have to go through that process with him, you know, of properly disclosing.
But I always think it's easy with moms to understand.
I mean, like...
they are not all the same.
I love my mommy.
Yeah.
But mama, oh,
okay.
Yeah, so in most cases when we tell her stuff,
okay.
And then you're like, you know what? I'm just not going to this topic because okay. So, but yeah, we went through that whole process. My mother didn't really understand what was going on because she thought by me saying I'm gay, that means I want to transition into a female.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you know
that broad.
Exactly, you know. And I told her, I know. I still identify as male, you know. The only difference is just that I am attracted to males. And I mean, we're still on that education process, me and her. She still doesn't understand some things. For example, because
also open up that stage where you feel with your mom now is understand.
Yes. But I mean, they always say parents know. It's just that sometimes they just choose not to acknowledge.
They believe like they behave like they don't know.
Exactly.
You're still on Happy Days on a podcast, and we're talking to Thapelo, and we're talking broadly, in fact, about the new album, the video. I saw the video. I like the video, and you saw we started with it. I'm sure you enjoyed the video. We're still going to play it maybe when we're signing out. Love Has No Gender, that's the album, and we played Kojab. We're coming back in a bit with more.
Happy Days. Happy Days.
Happy Days podcast.
It's a happy day to have a good day.
So we're back on Happy Days. We're coming to you from our studios in Ilovo, Sentin, that's in South Africa. So we continue talking to Thapelo and talking about the great music offering that is just released with Gino Lee. I follow Gino Lee a bit. I know that he's also a producer, isn't it? A songwriter. Yes. He does a lot. He's a music man in a way. Yeah. But talk about this album, Thapelo. Do you have other songs that maybe, or you just release a single with a video?
So I released a single with a video for now, because it was my first official introduction, you know, to the world of music, I would say professionally, since it's on streaming platforms. So for now, I just worked on the single and the video, but there is more music that is recorded and just ready to release, you know. We are in the process of sitting down and sort of compiling an EP for myself as well. So there is definitely more music that's going to be coming. Yeah.
But the challenges of even releasing that album, I know that if you're an up and coming, you know, you don't know so and so. So I heard that you also are you having your studios to record, or perhaps Gino Lee or you guys hook up someone have to help, you know?
Yeah, so Gino Lee has a recording label registered. I think it's been operating for about 3 years now. It's called River Roads Records. It's based in Gqeberha in PE. So yeah, whenever I need to record, so we usually do our sessions via Zoom. The writing, the putting together of the of the beats and the instrumentals of the song, and then I usually fly down to PE, and then I do the recording for a couple of days, record whatever I need to record, and then I come back to Johannesburg. So he has a stationary place where we actually go and record, and his family is quite accommodating of the whole thing, because in most cases when I record, I stay in the premises, so it kind of makes the whole process kind of easier, so yeah.
So I know that it can be so daunting sometimes, to being a musician, and also you have a 9-to-5 job, which when we spoke about it just off air, you telling me that you also hold a profession. Well, it's a very nice profession you hold out there. But apart from that, I think in life generally, you need something to fall back on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is it that you do?
So
for people who don't know.
So I am an occupational therapist.
Okay.
Yes.
What do occupational therapists do?
So basically, it's not I would say a well-known career path, especially amongst our black community, but an occupational therapist is a person that basically focuses on the functioning of the human. So basically, when I say functioning, we're looking at your cognitive function, how your brain works, your physical functioning, and also what you do with your life. So we also look at aspects of work with people. We also look at aspects of leisure, because getting the time off to relax and do something else is quite important. So that's I could speak about this the whole day, just trying to explain it. So basically, it's just to assist people to be at their functional capacity. So just to make sure that they're at their optimal functional capacity and they can do whatever that they need to do for them to be able to survive on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, but currently, I am focused on mental health.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to talk about that. I was about to say, I'm sure you were dealing with subject like your psychology, human psychology, to actually understand, because you're saying you need to understand the person in and out. So obviously mental, because we have a huge problem in South Africa. As it is, we're speaking about Dineo when we started the
mental
show.
Problems,
that South Africa, not just South Africa, but the global.
It's global.
Yeah. So there's a problem with. So I'm sure you have a whole lot of patients, who need such an help.
Yes, if you're in health, specifically occupational therapy, because we work with people that are not at their 100, It might be a physical disability.
Yes.
It might be mental health related. It might be emotional and all of that. You don't need to have that patience to work with people, because you get to carry a lot of people's stories with you. And also you need to be able to listen to what people actually tell you, because that's when you will know how you want to, in a way, intervene and assist them for them to be able to sort of get better, and become more functional and all of that. So I think it's a health thing. If you're in health, then you must have patience with people, because if you don't, then you won't be able to deliver the required service to the people that actually need it.
So I'm talking just back to your music, because we're doing back-to-back talking here. Maybe just to paint a picture, because I see there's something that it has been sent by Genevieve when she was like compiling about your profile, talking about the depth in music. In fact, the message in the music that you were trying to portray, to people out there. Because I see here you're also talking about where it also talks about people who sometimes feel they're not heard, or not or unseen in a way. They must know that they are not alone, and you're always worth something as a human being. Maybe for you to actually get into that deep, because it's quite deep. I know it's actually linked to your work.
Yes. In general, music can be used for therapeutic purposes, So music is just not for playing and listening and reviving and all of that, but it can be a form of therapy that gets either the person who's writing or the person that's listening to the music, for them to be able to go through the emotions of the process of whatever situation that they're faced with. I mean, most situations or most problems that we face in life and in relationships, people don't really, I would say, want to talk about, you know, because they feel like it's touchy subjects. And obviously when you get your story out there, you're opening yourself up to a lot of judgment as well. So for me, this process was mainly just to show as well that there are many different ways in which we can sort of deliver our pain to people for them to sort of listen to and see, you know, because maybe they won't understand when I verbalize it in a sit down and we're talking, but then because music sort of gives me that allowance to use scenarios or figures of speech to sort of liken a situation to maybe I'd say a certain area,
and you can have the song and play it again and again, you know. And
exactly,
then,
exactly.
To get the message clear.
That helps with the healing, you know, because it is a way of you just getting it out of your system, you know. So for me, it was also just a mental health journey to sort of try assist people that also have these challenges with mental health, especially because this song is relationship related, challenges in their relationships, just for them to know that, you know, you're actually not the only one who might, for example, be with an abuser, but you're finding it difficult to leave. There's a whole lot of us that are actually going through the situations, but it's just that there's different weights to the situations. But me sitting here and talking on the podcast is proof that, you know what, you actually get through everything. You know, once you decide to value yourself and are able to sort of determine your self-worth, you'll be able to see that whatever sticky situation that you are in is really not worth your tears. It's not worth your heartbreak, but it's a situation that you just need to remove yourself from entirely.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because as they say that so you'll find you only have a problem, but people have problems out there, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So maybe just to talk about the music, who is your favorite musician in South Africa? I want to be specific about South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
I always make sure ukuthi ngicela eMzansi vele.
Yeah.
Mangiphendula lo mbuzo.
Yes.
In as much as akhona manje ama-influencer phesheya. But I would say currently it's uLoyiso.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Loyiso has been doing the most when it comes to music. I mean, he only started at a young age on Idols and then sort of built his way, and now he's an international artist. I mean, he opened for Tamia about a couple of weeks ago, you know. So he's played worldwide, and that's where I want to get. And his voice is just out of this world. It's those kind of voices that when you listen to, you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
This is the voice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So he's not the only one. The likes of your Langamavusos as well, because their stories are stories that are relatable, you know. We didn't just sit and blow up out of nowhere, but we saw their struggle. And for example, Langamavuso posting covers on Twitter just to sort of get that recognition until he actually was signed and is now one of the biggest musicians in South Africa, you know. So being able to just witness those journeys also helps me to sort of, as a new artist, to sort of kind of push, you know, and show that there is hope. Even though abantu might say in South Africa there isn't a market for RnB, what, like mawufuna ucula, khipha piano, khipha igqomu, yabo yonke lonto leyo. I have nothing against the genres. I would do them given the opportunity. But for me, it was also just, you know, staying true to myself, like Kabolanga nabo Loyiso did, you know. Some of their music, umculo pholile, umnandi, you know.
Yineni sithatha kancane Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah, yineni enza ukuthi endlini kube mnandi kube
you know, makasukelweni.
Yeah, uthola umuntu anakudlalela leya, and now uthi hayi baby man, mina sibuye kancane. Yabona. So I'm sure Loyiso is watching. If watching this video, will actually think of, let me collaborate with Thapelo.
Yes, hit me up, please.
So and talking about other music genre, you touched on amapiano. So awukacabangi nje ukuthi mhlambe ungazithola mhlambe ulona change anytime soon?
I mean,
I know it's just started, but
yes,
yeah.
You know, I am open to exploring other genres, you know. Me and my producer did speak about doing your Afrobeat sounds, so sort of like Nigerian kind of music, that Davido kind of beats, you know. And then we've spoken on doing piano as well, deep house and all of that. I am open to sort of exploring with those genres, you know. If I do get maybe someone that wants to collaborate with me rather,
you won't say no.
Yes, you know, and they would say, I would say maybe they do deep
just
house
to try
piano.
different things.
I'll do it. I mean, I do believe in versatility as well. You know, you need to show that it's talent like a but so you know, anyone piano, I'm there. I'm there, you know, but I'll always stay true to my sound, which is RnB and pop.
Yeah. So, are you a fan to Shakespeare?
I know of some of his work, yes.
Okay, I see you've been quoting him there and there.
I mean, it's calling us pop.
Yes.
So,
yeah. South Africa, the new talent. Thapelo, thank you so much for coming to our studios.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm sure so releasile maningi mangithi ngifuna ukukhanyeka ukuthi hey ubani lo ngivalele ngaphandle hey ngithola sengivaleleke ngaphandle. And big up to Gino Lee for you know doing this nice collaboration. We're wrapping up with it and playing some more. You know, we need some more of this. If you can just, apart from, I was also mesmerized by the video itself, the quality, you know. So that's caught up from Love Has No Gender. We're signing out and out.
Bond together, baby, you and me, like a figure of eight, that's infinity. I had nothing to lose in someone else's shoes. Baby, maybe it's my fault. No. Tossing and turning all night long, trying to figure out a way. Did it go wrong? Gino Lee. Think I've had enough of falling out of love. Enchanted 'cause I thought you were the one. Now that's my point of view. Can't play with my IQ. Girl, I'm still so caught up on you. I'm caught up. Yeah, baby, I'm caught up.
Subscribe and become a member of the biggest family, the Happy Days on Podcast family.